Hello everyone. Today we are diving into an advanced level of meta advertising strategy, focused on creative angles, your real scaling system. For many, scaling is seen simply as a budget exercise, but at the scale of $100,000 to $500,000 in daily spend, budget is merely a secondary factor. The primary lever for audience discovery and algorithm training is the psychological angle you choose. If you're spending serious money on meta ads and your ROAS is sliding, most people look at the wrong things. They check audiences, they adjust budgets, they refresh creatives, and nothing changes. Three things to keep in mind as we go through this. Angles equal targeting, fatigue equals saturation, and scaling equals angle coverage. Everything else flows from those three ideas. Here's the problem most brands never diagnose correctly. When ROAS dips, 70% of brands raise the budget. That's exactly the wrong move, because if the angle is saturated, more budget just accelerates the collapse. And most accounts? They're running on a single psychological angle, one message type, one emotional entry point. When that one angle dies, the entire account dies with it. The deeper issue: swapping videos and changing thumbnails does nothing if the underlying angle is the same. Same angle, same audience signal, same ceiling. Scaling is not a budget problem. It is an angle coverage problem.
Here's how Meta actually works, and this changes everything. When an ad goes live, the algorithm watches who stops scrolling. That scroll stop behavior becomes a signal. That signal forms a buyer cluster, and that cluster becomes the audience the algorithm targets next. Same product, different angle, completely different user cluster, different click patterns, different device behavior, different time of day skew, all from changing the opening psychological trigger. This is critical. Each angle retrains Meta's model on a new subset of buyer behavior. That's how you discover audience pockets that interest targeting can never surface. This slide makes it concrete. Same product, same budget, 4 different angles, 4 completely different buyers. A pain-driven angle attracts urgent sufferers, high urgency, low price resistance, high lifetime value. An outcome angle attracts aspirational buyers who respond to transformation proof. A social proof angle attracts trust-driven validators who need peer evidence before they'll act. And a myth-busting angle? That pulls in skeptics with high engagement and the strongest conversion signal of any angle type. Interest stacks tell Meta where to look. Your angle tells Meta who to find.
There are 7 angle categories worth building a system around. Pain-driven names the exact problem the user is silently experiencing. Desire and outcome paints the transformed future they want. Fear-based activates loss aversion around inaction. Authority borrows credibility from sources users already trust. Social proof group validation through numbers. Myth-busting creates a pattern interrupt by challenging a held belief. And founder story identity connection through brand narrative. Each one unlocks a different psychological door. Each one finds a different buyer. The data backs this up clearly. Across the same product and the same audience, there was a 2.1x difference in CTR between the lowest and highest performing angle and a 2x gap in conversion rate. But here's the nuance. High click angles don't always convert best. A high CTR angle might be attracting aspirers, people who love the idea. A pain angle attracts urgent buyers, people ready to act. Same ad spend, very different downstream profit. Angles don't just change click rates, they change who clicks.
Creative fatigue is one of the most misdiagnosed problems in meta advertising. The common response is to launch new creative, new video, new format, maybe UGC instead of polished. But if the hook is still rooted in the same psychological angle, Meta sees the same signal, same targeting, same ceiling. The real cause of fatigue is angle saturation. That psychology segment has been maxed out. Frequency is a symptom, not the root cause.
Here's the scaling playbook. Weeks 1 and 2. Find. Launch 4 to 6 angles simultaneously, broad audience, equal budget. Let the data tell you which angle unlocks the most efficient buyer pocket. Weeks 3 and 4. Deepen. Take the winning angle and build 4 to 6 creative variations, different formats, different spokespeople, different opening lines, but the same psychological trigger. You're maximizing yield from what's already working. Weeks 5 through 8. Expand. Map psychological neighbors. If pain angle 1, test fear its neighbor and outcome as a contrast. Each adjacent angle unlocks a new subsegment. Week 9 onward, ecosystem. 3 to 5 primary angles, each with 4 to 8 variations. A multi-angle portfolio with no single point of failure. That is your real scaling inventory. Elite teams don't test creatives. They test angle hypotheses with a structured elimination system. Tier 1 is angle discovery. 4 to 6 new angles per week, 1 creative per angle, broad audience, equal budget. Kill anything that's more than 40% above your target CPA at 500 plus impressions. Tier 2 is angle variation. Take the winning angle and build 4 to 6 variations. Rewrite the hook, change the format, adjust the voice. Kill the bottom 50% by conversion rate at 1,000 impressions. Tier 3 is your scaling campaign. Take the top 2 or 3 validated combos from Tier 2. Put primary budget behind them. Weekly review only. Don't touch what's working. Kill it only if CPA is more than 25% above benchmark for 7 consecutive days. Different funnel stages require completely different psychological contracts. At the top of funnel, the buyer doesn't know you, your job is disruption. Myth-busting, pain naming, bold claims, curiosity gaps. The goal is to stop the scroll and signal to Meta who responds. At mid-funnel, the buyer is evaluating your job is building trust. Social proof, authority, comparisons, deep outcome stories. You're building conviction and warming purchase intent. At the bottom of funnel, the buyer is hesitating, your job is removing the final barrier. Risk reversal, real urgency, objection killers, FOMO proof. You're not persuading anymore, you're giving committed intent permission to act. Here's how this plays out in practice. A DTC supplement brand, $50K a month, 5 angles treated as 5 independent audience entry points. By week 4, the pain-driven angle is leading, scale it. Week 6, the myth-busting angle is rising fast, expand into it. Week 8, pain-driven is declining, rotate, don't kill. Week 10, authority is still climbing, reallocate budget toward it. By week 12, 4 angles are simultaneously profitable. That's an angle ecosystem. That's a scaling system.
Elite teams don't sit in rooms brainstorming angles. They mine customer intelligence. 1-star and 5-star reviews give you exact language. Pain phrases become pain angles. Specific outcomes become outcome angles. Surprises become myth busts. Support tickets reveal pre-purchase fears for risk reversal angles and repeated objections for objection killers. The Meta Ad Library lets you analyze competitor angles, systematically find the psychological gap they're leaving open, and own it. UGC comments and DMs give you exact hook language in the buyer's own words, and sales calls reveal the objection sequence. 6 mistakes, and these aren't beginner errors. These are decisions made by experienced buyers running outdated mental models. Scaling budget on a saturated angle just accelerates collapse. 10 UGC videos of the same pain hook is 1 angle in 10 outfits. Meta isn't fooled. Killing a winning angle at week 3 because of early dip means abandoning profitable segments that had runway left. Running full account budget on 1 creative is a catastrophic single point of failure. Building angles from the brand's internal perspective instead of customer language creates message market misalignment at scale. And waiting for ROAS to drop before investigating angle health means you're always reacting weeks of degraded performance already gone before you act.
3 principles to take from this. What you say determines who Meta finds your message is the targeting parameter, not your interest stack. Refreshing creative format on a saturated angle doesn't fix performance, you need a new psychological entry point. And your revenue ceiling is set by how many profitable angle-to-segment matches you can sustain simultaneously. Creative scaling is angle expansion, not budget increase. Most brands will never build this system. They'll keep swapping creatives, raising budgets, and wondering why the ceiling doesn't move. If your advertising isn't delivering the results you expect, the problem may not be the budget, it may be the strategy. At Namstar Marketing, we help businesses turn advertising into a predictable growth engine. Book a free consultation with our team, and let's explore how we can help scale your results.